Coming up on this episode, phones are released for Mobile World Congress, iPad 3 event announced, new Canon DSLRs, and more. This is TechDose. This episode of TechDose is sponsored by ComedyDiva.com. It's all about hilarious content from talented female writers and comedians. You can check out their site, there's a link in the description box. And also leave a comment on our page telling us your favourite Comedy Diva video. Personally, I've watched quite a few and they are really funny. You can get some good giggles out of it. Giggles. Welcome to TechDose, where we give you a weekly injection of gadget and tech news. We're your hosts Rob and Dan for this episode, so let's go into the first piece of news. But before that, go and click like below underneath this video. It helps us so much, so please go and like this video. So Apple is holding another event on the 7th of March. This event is going to be for the iPad 3, and we know this because there was a picture of an iPad in the picture that they released for the event. The picture makes the screen on the iPad look very clear, like it's Retina, and also it's made people speculate a lot about there not being a home button, as in the picture you can't actually see a home button like below the dock. But the problem is this could be the iPad in landscape or portrait. People have actually been analysing the background and how it looks in portrait and landscape to see in which orientation it is, to see if it would have a home button or not. And there's also mixed messages about there being a home button or not. So tell us down below if you want a home button or not to have a home button in the iPad 3. So one thing that we're pretty sure they will update is the processor. It will probably either be an A5X or an A6 chip, but we'll have to wait and find out on the 7th of March. So at Mobile World Congress, loads of phones were released by manufacturers, and one phone that caught my eye was the Samsung Galaxy Beam. It's an Android 2.3 phone with a 1.0 GHz dual-core processor and a 4-inch display. But the best thing about this is it has a built-in projector. That is amazing. It has a resolution of 640 by 360. It has 3 hours of continuous projector use in one charge, which is amazing. So you can play films or Angry Birds and just projector in a phone. You know, you can just hold it there, play a film, like dock it somewhere, and you can just watch a film in the night on your phone. It's really impressive. A film. A film. I know, a film. You watch us on your Samsung Galaxy Beam. Can't wait to see this, but the only downfall is that it has Android 2.3. I wish it would have ice cream sandwich, but it probably will because it's Samsung. Come on. So we'll expect to see that soon, and you'll hear more about it soon. So Canon is holding an event on the 2nd of March. They're announcing a 5D Mark III, might be announcing a Rebel T4i, and some new lenses. So to start off with, I'm going to talk about the 5D. Some of the main features that are going to be within the 5D are obviously a full frame sensor like the previous Mark II. It's going to be 22 megapixels, 3.2 inch LCD, and it's going to have dual CF SD card slots, so you can get like way more footage and photos on. And it's going to be priced around $3,500 US, so that is obviously quite steep, but still for a 5D Mark III that's actually alright, I guess. I mean, there'll be cheaper ones on eBay or B&H Photo. That's obviously just Canon's price, but you'll be able to find it cheaper other places. So the new lenses are, there's an EF-S 18 to 135mm lens. It actually has a silence autofocus motor, so when you focus in video, you're not going to hear it going and all that really annoying stuff. And this is actually going to be a kit lens that is released with a T4i. I'm very happy about that because I was worried that it was going to be like L lens and it was going to cost like thousands of pounds. But because it's a kit lens, it should be probably around the £100–200 mark. And I really like the fact that it's a silent autofocus. That is awesome. The next lens is an EF 200 to 400mm of an aperture of 4. It's an L lens with image stabilization, and it's going to be $10,999 for a lens. So the last lens that they're going to announce is the EF 40mm f2.8 pancake lens. I think this is for one of the bridge cameras, the like interchangeable smaller pocket cameras that you can have. So yeah. Sounds good. Sounds like they made it on Pancake Day. So HTC released a next flagship phone in the HTC One series called the HTC One X. The specs for this beefy device is a 4.7-inch display with a resolution of 720 by 1280, which is really crisp detail, with a 1.5 GHz quad-core processor, quad-core on a phone. Enough said. 1 GB of RAM, and it can hold 32 GB internal storage. It has an amazing 8 megapixel back camera which has a dual shutter, so you can take pictures and videos quickly at the same time. And a 1.3 megapixel front camera. And lastly, it has Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich, including Sense 4.0 skin. Of course, they have to skin everything. Let's
beginner phone. It's a really beefy device and I see it as a really strong competitor in the market.
Games! Usually we don't do game news, but there's two cool things out that I want to talk about. So Minecraft 1.2 is out today as long as everything goes to plan. The new features are, these are just some, there's so many more. There's a link in the description to the wiki page so you can have a look at all the crazy updates that they're doing. So vines are now climbable. There are jungle biomes and new wood and leaf types. The jungle biomes look so awesome. I can't wait to like build a tree house on the floor. It won't be a tree house, it would just be a house. So there's new mobs, and for instance one of them is a cat, and creepers actually run away from cats. Don't know why they don't like them. They could just blow up, but they don't like them. And also mobs are a lot more clever. The zombies and skeletons, if they start burning in the sunlight, they'll either get shelter or they'll jump in the water. Usually they just be like, nah, and just end up dying. So they're going to be a lot more difficult, and they break down wooden doors. Skeletons break down wooden doors, so you have to use iron. And obviously loads more. Link in the description, check out the wiki page as a list of all the new updates. Also, SSX is out in England on the 2nd of March. I cannot wait. It came out 2 days ago in America. Been watching so many gameplay videos, loads of reviews. So glad IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. And check out a link in the description to watch or read a really great review.
Asus showed off probably one of the best tablets out there, which I want so badly. It's called the Asus Transformer Pad Infinity Series. It's the next generation of the Asus Transformer Prime, which I want anyway, so I now want this. So here's the upgraded specs from the Transformer Prime. It's got a 10.1 inch display, so instead of having 1280 by 800 resolution on it, it has 1900 by 1200. What? That is intense. It's flipping crazy.
Flipping
crazy. Flipping pancakes.
Mango chutney.
Have you ever tried mango chutney?
No, I haven't.
It runs the best version of Android, which is ice cream sandwich. Amazing. And it has a quad-core 1.6 GHz NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor, which is fast and speedy and amazing. It has a 2 megapixel front camera and an 8 megapixel back camera, and I think it can record at 1080p video. You can get it in either 16GB or 64GB, which is kind of a step from 16 to 64, but whatever. I want it so badly, I'm gonna sell the iPad 2 for it, definitely. And the keyboard dock, come on. It charges while you don't, yes. I'm gonna have it. It's available in the 2nd quarter this year, and yes. Last story, Microsoft showed off Windows 8 at Mobile World Congress and announced the consumer preview, which basically means it's free for everyone. There's a link in the description to download it and enjoy it. So Windows 8 looks alright. I'll give it a try and I'll tell you what I think next week.
What was your favourite article from today's episode of TechDose? Tell us below. And also, do you play Minecraft, or have you, and what are your thoughts on it? I'm really interested to see how many of our viewers like or don't like Minecraft. Links are in the description to all the news articles and both our Twitters and the TechDose Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, really help us out, and thank you for watching. See you next week.
Peace.